Mags on Media with some brand news in brief now. And who said that print ads can't be creative? The TBWA Paris agency making a point for its client McDonald's delivery service without having to spell it out. The campaign uses photography by Roberto Badin to create beautiful impressionist images of city life seen through the windows on a rainy day. And who is up for a free hotel stay? Well, the Hotel Bellora in Sweden promises guests a free hotel room if, here's the catch, if they can stay off their cell phones. The checkout suite, as it's called, is priced depending on how much time you spent online during your stay. The lower the screen time, the lower the price. All of this is a bid to get guests to actually spend some real quality time with each other. All right, I want to stay with groundbreaking creativity. And would you believe now in its 24th year, the annual Design Indaba conference is considered one of the leading conferences of its kind in the world. It's seen as a champion for the creative revolution. And the conference sets out to make the case for creativity as a powerful business tool. Taking place from the 27th of February until the 1st of March in Cape Town, the founder, Ravi Naidu, joins us from Cape Town to let us in on what we can expect from this year's conference. Ravi, a very warm welcome. Before we talk about 2019, take me back to the genesis. 24 years ago, where did you see the opportunity?
We kind of tripped upon it. We were just part of the wonderful feelings post-1994 and the elections and the new democracy, and just felt a need to be able to do something that went beyond yourself. And we thought at the time that the creative industries were generally the Cinderella of business. And quite frankly, so much of the focus was on classical things like mining and major industry. And we thought perhaps that the X factor to be able to reignite the South African economy would be creativity, design, and innovation. And the thought was, in order to be able to reconnect with the world and hitch South Africa back onto the global express, let's connect South Africans with all the stuff that has been going on while we were languishing with economic sanctions and academic boycotts and so on. So the first idea was basically to bring the best exponents of creativity from around the world to come and share their stories, cuts and bruises, and experiences with this rather energized cohort of young South African creative people.
You make this point that Design Indaba's primary aim is to advance the cause of design as a communication fundamental, a business imperative, and a powerful tool in industry and commerce. Explain to me then how design really adds value to an economy. Are we seeing the benefits of that?
We are. I mean, and in Design Indaba, we just don't stand on the soapbox and advocate this. We try to be exemplars in a quite a gonzo kind of way in inserting ourselves into situations. So I'm not an impresario. I'm not a promoter. I'm not an event organizer. Design Indaba is fundamentally an institution with a kind of life beyond the event as well that goes through the year. So perhaps the biggest thing we're doing this year is launching a new collection with IKEA, the world's biggest furniture store, no less. And we corralled together 10 sets of designers from across Africa, from Abidjan, Dakar, Kigali, Nairobi, Cairo, Johannesburg, Cape Town. And together with them, we've created with IKEA a 40-piece collection that will be available in every IKEA store globally. But importantly about this collection, a fair percentage of it has been made here locally in South Africa. So the economic impact is immense. We're going to have a piece of Africa in homes globally. And we are able to advance this wonderful kind of renaissance that you're seeing. Africa's having a bit of a cultural moment right now in terms of creativity. And we are able to advance this and share our stories, our narratives, our heritage, our legacy with people from across the world.
Over the years, have we started to see an authentic South African design coming forward? Are people now, as a result of an event like this, able to say that is uniquely South African, or are we simply part of a bigger global mix?
It's a combination of that, and I think there's a very unique story here, and there's very unique iconography and imagery and a way of looking at the world. And so on the one hand, a company like IKEA, who does no favors, they are a very hard-running business, which really was an amazing experience, for example. They lead with a constraint. And the constraint is invariably an economic one, a financial one. So when we presented a chair, they said it was fantastic, but could you come back and make it for 30 euros? And so having to deal with these constraints and fall in love with these constraints and these beautiful constraints was an important part of working with them. But a company like IKEA will only darken our doorway if they find there's some value here and there's something that's going to be fresh that we're going to add to the rest of the world. But you know, Jeremy, you know this more than anybody else, that there is definitely a rise in the creative industries in South Africa. I mean, you have an agency like Grid in Johannesburg who's doing global work for Michelin or Qatar. You have Ogilvy in Cape Town doing the global advertising work for Mondelez. So increasingly, you're finding that, you know, we're punching way above our body weight. And the creative industries in this country are doing work not just locally, but are doing work globally. And, you know, there's an architect in Durban who designed the new national football stadium in Slovenia. And these are all reasons to be cheerful. And I think, you know, for companies in South Africa who are perhaps in financial services, etc., who are probably not au fait with what's going on in the creative industries, it demands a look in, because it's a burgeoning sector, and we're betting the farm on South Africa's creative futures.
And Ravi Naidu, a final question. You talk about punching above our body weight. As far as the heavyweights that you've got lined up this year, who should people make a note of seeing if they are lucky enough to attend?
It's the sleeper that surprises you. So on the one hand, don't be brand obsessed and go for the big name. That being said, there's always big names. Perhaps the most awarded ad man in history, David Droga, he's speaking this year. This gorgeous woman out of Kenya, who produced the movie Rafiki that was banned in Kenya, that went on to Cannes and has been widely lauded, and she just recently received the accolade of producing her first Hollywood movie, Wanuri Kahiu. She's out there. John Pawson, elder statesman of architecture, who recently designed the Design Museum in London. Some 40 amazing speakers from across 6 continents. And we're not ageist. They go from 20-somethings to 70-somethings and everywhere in between, and across all sectors. I think the most important thing about Design Indaba is that we are trying to promote diversity in the creative industries, and diversity not just from a color point of view. I think if you're in advertising, you can be inspired by a coder, you can be inspired by an architect, and you can be inspired by a product designer. So we really try to bring all of the sectors together in a great big mashup in Cape Town annually. I hope to see you there.
It is an event that really engulfs the synapses in Cape Town. Ravi Naidu, thank you very much indeed. Design Indaba from the 27th of February through until the 1st of March. Coming up on Mags on Media, what is it that keeps these famous faces forging ahead? And a rock star takes his equally famous daughter on a road trip to trace their roots.